Greetings YouTube, it's Scooby-Doo, and today we travel to Fiesta Americana Condesa in Cancun, Mexico. Condesa is an amazing resort and I give it a solid 4 stingers. It has the potential for more, but there was some construction going on during our stay that was right in the middle of the lobby area. It wasn't a deal breaker, but it was intrusive to some degree. The Condesa stacks up well in curb appeal. The gated entrance is shaded with lots and lots of palm trees. This adds privacy and a bit of mystery to the grand conical-shaped thatch roof that lies beyond. My first impression was measured optimism. Twin escalators flank the entry and are separated by an enormous multi-level fountain. Marble walls bookend the structure. Escalators seem out of place for the entry of a Cancun resort, but the design turns the utilitarian people movers into diagonal accents. And don't forget, the entry is capped by that gigantic thatch roof. The scale of the entry can't be captured on camera. The magnificence of the entry isn't just the size either. As we traveled up the escalator to check in, we were greeted with lots and lots of marble, and I love marble. And good news, the marble doesn't end there. It's throughout the interior areas of the resort. Check out some of these details. The resort has 3 main buildings. The exterior architecture is traditional with some red clay roof accents. A lot of the character of the resort is derived from balconies, or lack thereof. Some rooms have them, but most rooms don't. While it looks more interesting, it comes at a price for most guests. The resort is filled with extra architectural details like this. The center lobby is a well-designed hub with quick access to almost everything the resort has to offer. The furthest thing is the beach, and that's still not much of a walk. The dual-level pools are aesthetically pleasing as well. The upper pool has 2 parts that kind of feels like an infinity pool, but they're really not. So even though it's not a true infinity experience, the pool areas are well-designed and beautiful. The design of the resort isn't without fault, though. The path to the theater, sports bar, and teen center are a bit hidden. You have to go through the ice cream bar to find the path. It's not impossible to find, but it seems a bit quirky, a little bit of an afterthought. You can also go down the escalator in front of the resort, but many guests don't go outside of the resort, so they would never even think to go in that direction. Utilitarian is a good way to describe the theater, sports bar, and teen center. I'm nitpicking a bit, so let's move on. Without getting into the food quality, many of the restaurants are air-conditioned, which is important to me. Literally, nothing is worse. Do you even know what that word means? Than a brutal hot day at a resort while sweating at lunch or dinner because the resort was too cheap to cool me off. As with all resorts, the grounds are well manicured and beautiful. But as the theme goes with this trip, Condesa takes it up a notch. In addition to the flora that grows in the open-air walkways, there is fauna as well, in the form of koi fish that live in the ponds. The ponds are fed by fountains. The sound of the water splashing is pleasant. Pleasant, I tell you. The facilities are top-notch, well-maintained, high-quality materials coupled with fantastic design. I give the facilities a fantastic score of 4.5 stingers. Architect approved! So let's talk about the food. My wife and I have been to many all-inclusive resorts. The food at this resort is the best we've ever had. There are many options, and some are better than others, but if you can't find something you like here, then I think you simply like to complain. And perhaps you should stop going on vacation. Breakfast is the standard all-inclusive fare, a buffet with various breakfast items and some stuff I didn't recognize. All I need is an omelet station, juice, and bacon. Lunch has a variety of options. My favorite was the open-air a la carte restaurant near the pool. Yes, you heard me right, a lunch restaurant that was a la carte. The food and service was fabulous. The main lunch buffet was usually empty. I'm guessing it's because there are better places to eat. And it was not too hot during our stay. I'm not trying to knock it. The food wasn't bad at all. There are just better places to eat. The poolside food cycled from burgers and hot dogs to barbecue to seafood. Our experience poolside varied from great to, we've had better. There is a walk-up sushi bar and a smoothie station that I didn't try. Up a little further is the pizza bar, and I wish we wouldn't have eaten that. There is no reason to butcher pizza like that. A fake brick oven can only make fake brick oven pizza. There's also a small Mexican seafood cantina. I got some fish tacos. They were fresh and delicious. Moving on to dinner, I give huge bonus points for having a simple reservation system. No reservations are accepted or required unless you want to eat at the steak restaurant. Everything else is first come, first serve. There is a wait, and it's a little bit longer during premium times, but at least you can eat where you want. I planned to eat at the steak restaurant, but several people we talked to said it wasn't worth going to. It was an upcharge, first of all, so you'd think it would be better, not worse. Anyway, we opted to skip it. And it turns out that the steak at the Italian was fantastic. The open-air restaurant that we loved for lunch was also open for dinner. We did not eat there. We also missed out on the Mexican restaurant, which was highly recommended by people we talked to and based on the reviews. Overall, everything we ate was either top-notch or better than average, except the pizza. I give the food 4.5 stingers. Food critic approved. So let's go check out the room. The room was basic and a bit small. We were one of the unlucky who didn't get a balcony, but the room was clean and recently renovated. The AC worked great, and the room was quiet. New couples might find the bathroom situation a little uncomfortable. Etched glass prevents unwanted visuals, but sounds aren't attenuated very well by glass. The best part of the room was the fantastic bed. Lots of super soft pillows with super soft bedding. It felt so good. The room gets a solid 4 stingers.
Ooh, that's a bingo!
So heading over to the beach. Okay, that's about all I have to say on that. The beach is not very important to me. What do you want me to say? The water is beautiful, the sand is soft. There was a lot of seaweed when we arrived. They cleaned up some of it during our stay. 4 stingers feels about right for this one. Yippee! So now let's get into the entertainment. After reading many reviews, I recall having trouble gauging whether or not we'd like it or not. The pool entertainment was about average. There were some water activities, dancing lessons with guests who were more brave than I am. There was bingo at the pool one day. Sometimes there was a preview of what was happening in the theater later that night. And some days there had guest challenges at the pool. Stuff like throwing a basketball into a life preserver or throwing a ball with a towel. I like these kind of activities best. But there were no foam parties, and if I could revisit the design of the resort just for a second. The pool area is not conducive to activities at all. It's almost as if the architect just ignored anything that the activities director had to say about the design. Moving on to the theater, which is full of acts that don't interest me at all. There was a Michael Jackson impersonator that was actually not very exciting, but it was a lot better than the karaoke that I saw later on in the week. There was a fire show near the pool a couple of times while we were there. I caught the tail end of the show. Again, this area isn't conducive to a show. Even though it was a nice show, it's just a bad spot for it. Sometimes there was live music in the lobby too. The band was plagued by small kids who turned into instant groupies during familiar songs while adults waited to be called to dinner. I felt bad for the entertainers because people don't watch their kids very well. Unfortunately, the live music in the lobby stops if there is a show going on somewhere else. And this seems to be a good spot to point out the construction that I mentioned earlier. There is a large project going on in the center of the resort. I don't have any of the details, but I hope that this project provides a proper venue for performers in the lobby. So I checked out the sports bar one night. It was useless as a form of entertainment. And the teen center isn't much better. It has pool tables and a TV. The evening entertainment is ad hoc at best. The daytime folks are wonderfully cheesy but don't have the proper venue. I give Condesa 3.5 stingers for entertainment. That seems adequate. Moving on to service. I'll say this much. The service was impeccable. I'm a little bit more spoiled than I was before. I'll give a special shout out to Juan Jose, aka JJ, Guadalupe at the Upper Pool Bar, Gemma at the Open Air Restaurant, Felix at the Pool Bar, Antonio the Towel Guy, Jonathan at the Italian Restaurant, last but not least, Myrna at the lobby. Overall, I give Fiesta Americana Condesa 4 stingers. So much is just right about this resort. It's well designed and appointed. The food and service are examples of excellence. I completely recommend this resort. I understand why there are so many repeat guests. This resort will be even better when the construction is complete. That's all for now. Don't forget to hit like, type a comment, and subscribe. Scooby-Doo out.